Whatever happened to the starter home? That's a question I think about daily. For years, a first-time home buyer is apt to tell me they're just looking for a starter home. But what is a starter home? It could truly be defined different for everybody. It really depends on what somebody's looking for and what they decide a starter home is defined as. When I think of starter home, I think of something that's 2 to 3 bedrooms, usually a 1-story, 1 level, maybe has basement, maybe doesn't, and usually around 1,000 square feet or so. That's what I consider a starter home, but for you, it might be completely different. We have a lack of starter homes and a lack of 1-story homes in the area. So it'd be good to do this video. My name is Lisa Wasnikowski with Blue Ribbon Realty. I'm a licensed realtor and I service all of Northwest Indiana from Whiting to Monticello. Whatever happened to the starter home is a question that was posed in an article written in September of 2022 on the New York Times website, written by Emily Badger. It has some very valid points because this is a trend that has been happening countrywide. There is a lack of starter homes on the market. There's a lack of 1-story homes on the market. So I want to focus on the 1-story home. Here in Northwest Indiana, we've had a lack of inventory. And with that being said, we've also had an uptick in residential new construction. So we have a lot of production builders, and some of the production builders in our area are Dyer, Lennar, McFarland Homes, and Old Toff. We've had just Providence is another builder in the area that kind of is a production builder. There's always the option that somebody that wants new construction can go find land, buy it, or buy a lot in a subdivision that isn't a production builder subdivision and build the house they want to build. And those people may be building a 1-story home, but it might not be considered by somebody else's definition of a starter. It might be bigger, it might be more expensive, have higher upgrades. So some of these builders in these developed subdivisions, they have 4, 5, maybe 6 different layouts of houses and options. And then from there, there's more options when it comes to colors and design layout. But those basic, what they call elevations and views, can be different. And most of them are 2-story homes. Why are they picking 2-story homes? Because it's actually cheaper for them to build. And when they have they're trying to cram as many homes in the neighborhood as possible. So those lots might be slightly smaller. A home that was built, so let's say in Munster in the 1950s or 1960s, probably has anywhere between 1/4 of an acre to 1/3 of an acre lot size. They were probably ranches, 1-story homes with a basement. And I'm using this as an example because that's where I grew up. They all had nice sized yards. And maybe it was 1,200 square feet to 1,500 square feet ranch. But the lot was larger. Now we are seeing homes that have a higher above grade square footage, maybe 1,500, 2,000 square feet. However, those homes each level has a smaller amount because they're 2 stories. So when they have a smaller footprint, and maybe it's only 800 square feet on the main level, and then 800 square feet upstairs, that's 1,600 square feet, but that takes up the footprint of 800 square feet. And when you do that, that makes the size of the house on the outside smaller, so the smaller lot will still feel substantial to the average buyer. All of these subdivisions do have 1-story options. They're harder to find. They're just as expensive as the 2-story options. And why is that? Well, concrete's very expensive. Concrete's expensive, so it's actually affordable for a builder to go up than to go out. So it's hard to find a home in a subdivision that's newer that doesn't have an HOA or any rules in place. The demand for 1-story homes is actually pretty high. I think we have a couple of things at play. Most people anticipate that a 1-story home is going to be less expensive, and traditionally they were. A one-story home is also helpful for people that have mobility issues or those that have small children that don't want to risk them possibly playing or falling downstairs. And then there's age proofing. I have more and more buyers that are interested in two-story homes only if there is a bedroom on the main level, so they don't have to consider moving down the road, or if they have a relative that needs to stay with them that has mobility issues, or as they age, they want to age in place and they don't want to have to worry about the what ifs. So two-story homes are more desirable if they have a bedroom and a full bath on the main level. Otherwise, more and more buyers I'm noticing are asking for one-story homes. Don't forget, we also had the people that had the big homes and they are downsizing. What are they going to downsize to? Another two-story home? More than likely, they want to downsize to a one-story and they want a smaller footprint. They want to start getting rid of their stuff. They have too much stuff for whatever reason and they want to downsize. And we're seeing plenty of people in our area that are downsizing. In fact, there's actually an uptick in people that grew up in this area, moved away, maybe Nevada, maybe Florida, maybe Arizona, and now that they're older, they want to age in place here back home where they felt most comfortable or where they can be closer to family and friends. So I personally am seeing more of my own buyers coming back to this area that have left in the past 20 years and they want to come back. All of those buyers are looking for one-story homes or low maintenance homes. And low maintenance homes might be that garden home that's a smaller home or a half duplex where the yard and the exterior of the building is maintained. We do have people that are looking for condos, but again, in that same aspect, a first floor condo unit seems to be way more desirable than an upper level condo unit, even if there's an elevator. These are all things we're lacking in Northwest Indiana right now. So it is the perfect time if you do have an existing one-story home and you're looking to sell, it should be very easy to sell that home. I'm just going to be honest, as long as it's priced right and it meets a lot of the criteria that people are looking for, even if it's an older home, if it needs some updates, it's really not as big of a deal because they are so sought after. And the smaller one-story homes, there's plenty of investors that are buying them to renovate them and sell them. And in some areas where there is a demand for rentals, which right now we are seeing a demand in rentals, people are buying and becoming landlords as well. According to that article in the New York Times, only about 8% of new family homes are 1,400 square feet or less, and even less than that is one story. In the 1940s, 70% of all new houses built were the same size. So we're seeing this huge, well, hello. Hello. So we're seeing this huge shift in how things are being built and what their size ranges are, but the demand is not there. So when it comes to one-story homes, in closing, they're popular for multiple reasons. Those with small children that don't want to deal with stairs, people with mobility issues, people that are trying to age-proof their home, people that want to make it safe for others that visit their homes. They are looking out for parents maybe coming to stay with them or other relatives that are older or have mobility issues. For whatever reason, there's a lot at play. There are also a lot of people that grew up in one-story homes and that's what they're drawn to. And you can get both compartmentalized traditional layouts and open concept layouts in one-story homes. Single-story homes can be more affordable to build. At the same time, builders don't build enough of them in our area right now. So those homes that are older, that are one stories, are definitely more desirable in the market we are in currently. If you are looking for a one-story home, a bungalow or a ranch with or without a basement, I would suggest looking at some of our older neighborhoods where you see a lot of homes that were built between 1940 and 1970. You usually find a good amount of homes in that range that are one story. The other variant that you'll see a lot of when you get closer to the 60s and 70s are that tri-level and the bi-level style homes. So there still are stairs, but not as many at one time before you have a landing. But for the most part, if it was built in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, it's a good chance it is a ranch or traditional two-story home. I hope you found that useful. If you did, please give us a like, a thumbs up, whatever the kids say these days, and consider subscribing to this channel to get more information about living in Crown Point or Northwest Indiana. And let us know if we can help you. We would love to service you because we truly believe in a better real estate experience for our clients. Thank you so much for watching.